Never will be, never was. Oh my, blah, blah, blah. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133, Unit 329. I have to stop you if you have children. I wouldn't let them watch this broadcast. It deals with adult themes, including a few neighbors, and I'll probably run Asian street game. And there is a lot of profanity times in this broadcast, and like the other night, there was a nude man at the bus stop screaming that he was not gay, and he was doing a certain thing to sort of the back of himself, and that's not a babysitter. And I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133, Unit 329. In fact, if I walk this way, hear one of them. Printing, they're okay, but they've actually used my name on the bus and threatened. And there have been kidnapping attempts, murder attempts, you name it. And one of the favorite gang crimes, it can occur in your, but it can occur legal organs trade. It's warm, but I forgot my hoodie. I would have liked to have had a hoodie. I don't think the weather's going to. So, this is the building, and you see there's a lot of retail space. Even when the retail space fills up, it's no guarantee that I'd be safe. There's one of the retards, and he's thinking they're going to get pants gang. It's not supposed to be. I didn't have time. Warnings on there. I even put it a temper, and the temper has saved me, but so did God. And I'm scarred by gang members. Once you scar me, I'm going to be a different person. I'm not going to put up with crap. Not afraid to roll around if someone has a gun and just make sure we both get shot. How about that? It's my justice. Someone just used in the infield. This bum, the green booger thing, is playing hired them. So a lot of people that are slavers, including whites and their slavers, they will try, and the black dots, because we'll focus on the whites and others, they will call it hiring or volunteering. You know, I know the difference. I go and volunteer somewhere, which isn't actually any better than the building, because they will sprinkle you with glass. Sandra Katowitz, she runs the volunteer and a few other functions, and she is a psychopath blood. Some are both Bloods and Zetas. That's the building. It's called It's Coming. It's one of the retards that threatens people. You notice how tall he is. His name is Paco. And look at how much retail space. So they've threatened to do away with me in that building. You wouldn't really notice because there's so much building space. That's what they relied on. This thing is, well, if you believe it or not, he's doing a psychic attack. He's expectorate, but he was expectorating. Fuck yourself, bitch. I have a temper. Thank you. You said you can't have audio. I already talked to Metro. I can tape on the buses. Plus, I'm taping me. So if anybody is interfering, I'm taping my words and I'm on the bus. So, you're photo bombing me, you're video bombing me. It's not my problem. The sky is beautiful. I'm on 6099. I see the fare enforcement guys. I'm safe. I pay my fare.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. King County Metro Fare Enforcement. Please have your ARCA cards or your transfers out for inspection. Thank you. Thank you very much. How you doing, man? Well, I appreciate you. How are you, ma'am? Thank you very much. How you doing, sir?
Next stop, North 90th Street.
This woman is moving her hands behind me, the one I sat by, not the one across from me. She's doing something. Yeah, just a second. I can't hear you very well. Can't hear. She was almost touching my behind. It usually has to do with robbery. Someone on this bus actually stuck their hand in my dirty laundry one day. It was in this IKEA bag. I'm sure they, had a nice time touching the sock.
North 85th Street.
For the underwear. They have to understand that Bloods and Zetas are pretty foul, so they do like things like underwear. And if they can start some sort of fallacy about it that would wreck your reputation, all the better. Excuse me. Actually, that's a popular method used by gang members to promote that it's your boyfriend. They'll steal your underwear or posture with them in your empty dwelling. And then they can promote some sort of falsified relationship. I'm not going to make it to the bus. I just saw another bus. They're running 2 in a row. Really late now. This is really terrible. It's only so much writing you can do and pausing and having the alarms go off 50 times. I'm not going to make it. My shoes loose. Uh-oh, someone else is running. Go to hell. There's somebody who stuck her hand kind of in my face and started playing tortured. I think she might have thrown glass. Let's see. I don't think I can run. Those other women ran, but I have these bags. So a woman brought her hand up in an aggressive manner. She was on the left side. He's not going to wait for me because I am slow. And here, thank you. He might. Thank you. So, some glass might have hit me, and there's a moron playing ugly face. Excuse me. It's a bus driver. Everyone in the U.S. is an ugly, creepy zombie, no matter what they look like, especially Washington State. Bus driver's playing. It's a black Nazi, I think. Can't really see. Whatever he is, he's crazy. Might not be. Might just be a white guy, but he's crazy. He's white, I think, or other. And there was a blonde as I was running, and she was making this kind of weird motion with her arm, like twisting almost. And she said, "That's for blah, blah, blah." She was twisting. Well, she might have been hurting animals or favorites, and she said, "That's for torture." And you have to understand, when the zombies and the Satanists started on you, including by cops is, let's say you fought back in the invisible, such as Officer Bobby, for cursing people in the invisible. It wasn't Officer Bobby yet. It's been a long line of dirty cops as well. Several. And it occurred at about 132nd in Aurora.
The next stop, North 80th Street.
Second, I have to sort of, I do very bad American Sign Language. B-A-D, so B-A-D, D-R-I-B, quote. There have been several attacks. I'm talking about past and present, but I'll get to my story. But I was gang raped years ago because I dared to complain about gang members beneath me in an apartment below me, Canos, and it was about 132nd, 133rd off of Aurora. Now, I have asthma, allergies, chemical sensitivities, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, bleeding ulcers. The people below me were making a terrible stench every day, including really noxious scents that aren't normal, like boiling up. A fan would be boiled up for hour or whatever. Then there'd be bleach or different days, different odors of boiling this substance. And there was a dirty cop. He was working as a security guard. So there's a little distance there. Now, people below me were Hispanic. So even if you're not all white, once you tangle with someone, even if you're innocent, just like the cops these days that have, had to, well, they're cops, and there have been some incidents. They're called Nazis, even if they're not. I'm not saying I was a cop. Now, so you might be blackballed, and let's say you're, maybe a pagan back then. Didn't mean I was a devil worshiper. And apparently, at the same time I was being gang raped and also I was poisoned. I had the staggers when I'd use my shampoo. I would drink my soy milk in the fridge, and there'd be a taste of semen, if you can imagine, or smells of semen and various things. I couldn't use my vinegar to wash my floor. It smelled like urine. My shampoo would give me the staggers. I started out by being allergic to pretty much everything in my apartment. Now they're playing
Next stop,
There's a green lake. This is something interesting. And viewing this, it looks rather dark for me to view. It is a dark day. My screen is not clean right now, I guess. Spirit talking about it being hopeless. It's trying. She's probably caught by bad people. It was a sweet-sounding spirit, a sad voice.
Sunnyside Avenue North.
Possibly forced to play. But when bitten, Satan chose the very most inferior, just as America has chosen the very most inferior. And they wanted to edge out all the nice people. And they got together, including Hispanic Nazis. There were other people of color. Unbelievably, they destroyed cultures, religions, including of others that weren't totally white or white at all. And they even called them ignorant names like Mexican. And they had there, it's become mindless drone morons. She was in someone's sacrificing. There was a satanic system in place when I woke up, and they started acting like everything you did, whether you moved in covered up, you owed, and you're going to pay either with your etheric body or your spirit. There's one on here playing, it's either a spirit or I think a couple of visible. And so even if you ate a banana or ate something, you were going to pay. And the bums have even extended this to you're going to pay for being a bus driver. He was just playing ugly this, ugly that. Was I ugly before bleaching with the acid put in my water? No. That happened about a couple weeks ago, and gang members bragged that I'd be bleached. I also have cuts on my arms from glass. It's not needle, and untainted experts would be able to see it was glass. I've also been sprinkled, as I've told, in various locations, such as bus, including this route, the 45, which is before the 45. I've been sprinkled, going town, and I primarily go to two places.
Next stop, northeast 60
This thing
meters.
is actually practicing Psi. She's in America. She's a zombie. She's getting off here. She's an Asian female. I think it's done. And now, what would often occur on the bus for 13 years? Well, let me tell you about the curse. As part of the curse, the bums decided that I would be portrayed as Satan, including they would try to make me look like Satan. Oh, and by the way, I'd like to express one of the plots. Remember, retardos were given power. He was saying, take all the white out of Lisa.
Next stop, northeast 65th Street and northward.
He's trying to alter appearance. And so the retarded maggots, 132 million of them, including children in the U.S., were given God that Satan stole. And these retarded morons were dead for 13 minutes, 12 to 13 minutes. And they're Satanists. They're zombies. It's in their programming. And they were also programmed by retarded people, such as black Nazis, people that had never worked all the generations they'd been in this country, retarded crack morons that were white or others, or people on meth, very bad DNA, whether it was white trash, black trash, or in between. It programmed morons. There are no white people. They're all lunatics, and often the drug addicts will go along with the black people that are Nazis. Why? Or other people. It's a huge trail of drugs. It's a trail of property. It's a trail of money. Money, property, and drugs. Power. So you have people also that are so powerful. If they think somebody's going to be in power, even if it's I don't want to say that, it sounds bad, but the horse that won't win, but you know it's going to win, they'll often put stock in the bad horse, the horse with the, bad leg. And America is the horse with the bad leg, right? Will be. And his inferiors, and you can see it stamped on their faces. One only has to look around, and one will see, that these people had drug mothers, alcohol mothers, mothers that were alcoholics. The father's semen was inferior, and the mother's eggs were damaged or inferior. And it's stamped on just about everybody. And for 30 years, the Americans promoted the inferior based on preferences, and not just racial preference, but preferences such as being able to hide that one is an alcoholic or drug addict, that one is insane, because of the alcoholism and drug addiction. Now, so the whole society is insane. What looks normal, you might find him, in 10 minutes playing and cursing Irish people. My favorites were cursed as part of the curse, and that included, of course, English, Scottish, Irish, Welsh people. It included, Russians, Ukrainians. It included Semitics. It included also nature and every aspect of it. And of course, my favorites would have included my ancestry. The bum driver is doing psychic attacks, whether you want to believe, and he just took chakra, and the bum thinks he'll wear it. Everybody who tries to wear me, they are zombies. They don't have their own chakra, spirit, aura, soul. It's playing Doppler. The fat ugly thing at the bus stop is playing Doppler in the flowered dress. Do these people really look that normal to you? So also along with the bad DNA, you have the instant food with preservatives, with the unhealth, the lack of proper nutrition, including if you eat instant food. You have the environmental pollution, and you have also people taking prescription drugs. And then you add the deficient DNA. We were headed for a fall anyway. And I sort of developed a model. And the model is, now, the gang member zombies, they embrace the inferior. Similarly, Satan, when they fell, the second time for Satan, he dragged people down. So I don't consider that a credit to him. I consider that a deficit. You have Satan embracing. And so America was headed for countdown 0 anyway. Just if I filmed every minute, which is again hard, you'll see people throwing face. You'll see people, which I might start doing. So basically, I'll be filming every minute. Go into the bathroom and fix it so that it's, press a button on one camera so it's streamed. It's hard to find either a camera that's large enough and, has enough functions. Also small enough so that, it's sort of innocuous. You could wear it. And, but you need some certain functions, which, I was wondering about. Somebody just took brain, by the way, in back. And it's a female. Spirit, possibly spirit. But I was thinking that there are some cameras out there that possibly stream right to your device. And yes, they are. But you can also get Wi-Fi spots and cameras. I already knew that. Some can be a little complex. Are you going to pay for that Wi-Fi spot? They are thinking not. Can you click the camera onto the Wi-Fi, or do you have to pay for it? Not, and they think not. So, there's some interesting questions. Like one camera I couldn't really use to sort of use a Wi-Fi spot. But to be able to stream it to your computer, or your phone. Phone for now until I buy a laptop. But I don't want to drag the laptop around trying to film people. So streaming it, that's a good option. Now we're approaching Elizabeth Gregory home. That'll be actually up 50th in the U District, and I volunteered there. And I just want to state that it's not safe and it's rife with bloods that connect to Aurora DSC at 10507 Aurora Avenue, North Seattle, Washington, 98133. I'll be. I have to tie my shoe. Some of my questions about, cameras. I'm not an expert. And what's happening is I feel diminished in my learning sometimes, or my knowledge, because there are so many things that happen, such as there was a head attack, there just was a uterine attack. So I'm talking about chakras and etheric body, which some of you might think are crazy things to talk about, but you have to understand I am talking about also games. Like, I might start to talk to you about how the bloods are connected to Elizabeth Gregory and how they have actually done some gang crimes up there, including the very physical crime of there are people who sprinkle glass at Elizabeth Gregory home. Thank you. Sandra Catter.